Do you have a consumer-related issue? Want to learn more about matters concerning you as a consumer? Well, keep it locked to Nationwide 90 FM for the Consumer Hour with me, Laura Gay Banton, weekdays from 9 to 10 a.m. For all your consumer-centric matters, stay tuned to the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, by God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path. Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and
ready to tackle that building project? Start right. Start here at H&N Rapid True Value for building supplies. The time by H&N Rapid True Value is
Nationwide time, 5 o'clock.
From the Nationwide News Network,
Good afternoon, I'm Ricardo Brooks. Someone from Jamaica Labour Party says positive election campaign was key to its historic win in yesterday's general election.
Felt that the campaign went according to plan. We tried very hard not to pursue a negative campaign.
And the party's communication chair, Abika Fitz-Henley, says the lies told about the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, undermined the PNP's bid for Jamaica House.
I believe that sort of mendacity, which was promulgated from the platform of the PNP during their campaign, backfired on them.
Director of Elections denies reports that boxes were stolen in yesterday's election.
Weather vane seats solidified their status, again correctly reflecting the national outcome.
Election observer groups say Wednesday's election was free and fair.
In news from the rest of the world, congratulations coming in across the region for Holness and the JLP.
Emmanuel Macron says 26 countries ready to send troops for Ukraine ceasefire.
In headline sports, team manager gives high marks to training camp in Japan ahead of World Championship.
And later in our broadcast, in the cover story at 5:35, the Andrew Holness-led JLP has created history by winning a third consecutive term in government, securing 34 seats to the PNP's 29. We'll hear from the party's General Secretary, Dr. Horace Chang.
In public opinion at 6:26, we ask, what's your reaction to the outcome of yesterday's general election? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio, and message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90 FM.
In the nation's business at 6:40, the PNP's Dr. Alfred Dawes unseated the JLP's Robert Miller in yesterday's general election by over 500 votes. Miller will join us.
And at 8, it's Jamaican Dads with Dennis Brooks, Garth Williams, Marlon Campbell, and Floyd Green.
All these and more as we take you home on air on your mobile, Nationwide 90 FM, Nationwide Radio, JM.com, and on the Nationwide app. It's available on the Google Play and the App Store. This Thursday afternoon, it's Thursday, September 4, 2025.
News at 5 is brought to you by KFC's Big Deal. Order through carry-out, drive-through, delivery, WhatsApp, or the new KFC Jamaica mobile app. KFC Big Deal. Anything for the taste.
if it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
And now to the details. The governing Jamaica Labour Party JLP believes its positive campaign message was a key reason it was able to defeat the opposition PNP in Wednesday's general election. Members of the party's campaign team made the claim at a post-election media briefing on Thursday. The JLP team says it resisted running a negative campaign built on lies and propaganda. Mahiri Stewart has that story.
Wednesday's general election resulted in the JLP securing a third consecutive term in government for the first time in its history. The party defeated the PNP at the national polls after securing 34 of the country's 63 constituencies. Chairman of the JLP's campaign committee, Dr. Christopher Tufton, says the JLP made a point of avoiding negativity in its campaign for a third term.
We felt that the campaign went according to plan. We leveraged our achievements as an incumbent government over the last 9+ years. We also focused on those issues that we felt were important to the Jamaican people, not on the rhetoric, not on the tear down, the propaganda and other negative. We tried very hard not to pursue a negative campaign.
Dr. Dana Morris Dixon says the achievement-based campaign was the vision of party leader Dr. Andrew Holness.
This campaign was hard, but the Prime Minister did set the groundwork, and that's why I'm even more proud to be a part of this, because he said, this is going to be a clean campaign. We're going to campaign on our achievements. And, there's some people who would say you can't really campaign on achievements and that positive campaigns don't work and that you have to go negative. And our Prime Minister said no.
Chairman of the JLP's Manifesto Committee, Kamina Johnson-Smith, says the document was a key contributor to the party's historic victory.
In terms of our engagement and the fact that we committed to you that we would do it differently and did so by making sure we had 5 documents produced. Again, all paying due respect and regard to how people want to engage with information. We had our interactive map on the website that allows you to go through and see all the infrastructural developments that have been taking place. And I want to share with you that we had close to about 70,000 views of our documents.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Chairman of the JLP's Communication Task Force, Abka Fitzhenley, says the lies told about Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness undermined the PNP's bid to win the battle for Jamaica House. Fitzhenley made the remark at a media conference earlier on Thursday. The press conference was called by the JLP to reflect on the successful general election campaign, which has now given the Andrew Holness-led party a 3rd straight term in charge of government. Dana Davey reports.
One day after the JLP secured a new mandate, Fitzhenley told the journalists he is proud of the campaign run by the party.
I think it has been a good experience, and from the perspective of the Jamaica Labour Party team, I'm proud of the quality of the campaign that we have run under the leadership of Dr. Holness, our party chairman, Montague, our general secretary, Dr. Horace Chang, and our campaign chairman, Dr. Tufton. We focused on outlining our track record of performance and acts of care on behalf of the people of Jamaica and a firm commitment to do more. I believe the Jamaica Labour Party has set a new standard in terms of political campaigning for election or re-election.
Fitzhenley, chairman of the JLP's Communication Task Force, says he is disappointed by the vitriol, toxicity, and lies which seemed to anchor the PNP's campaign to win Jamaica House.
In terms of the institutionalized spreading of misinformation from the bloggers and to the highest level of their party, where it almost appeared as if lying from the political platform was something commonplace and something tolerated. I mean, up until the last day of the campaign, well, not of the campaign, on general election day, the bloggers were circulating false information, lies about the Prime Minister and the Jamaica Labour Party leader. I believe that sort of mendacity, which was promulgated from the platform of the PNP during their campaign, backfired on them.
Fitzhenley says with the election now out of the way, he is hopeful the PNP will change course and conduct its politics with honesty, respect, and dignity.
The fallacy, the deceptiveness from the opposition's platform, the vitriol, the lies, which got to a point where they'd lie so much that they'd lie about people lying on them. Just before the election, a senior member of their party did the rounds on social media, speaking to bloggers, spreading false about our democracy and the well-being of our society, that the future leadership of the PNP will not countenance that sort of misleading, egregious, and deceptive conduct which appears to be tolerated under the Mark Golding-led PNP.
Dana Davey for Nationwide News.
The Director of Elections, Glaspel Brown, says his office has not received, or rather has received no reports of boxes being stolen in central Kingston during yesterday's general election. The PNP's Steve McGregor narrowly defeated the JLP's Donovan Williams, polling 4,739 votes. Williams managed to net 4,727 votes. That's a difference of 12 votes. Allegations have emerged online that at least 2 boxes had gone missing, but Director Brown says he's received no such reports.
No information has been brought to my attention, certainly not by the returning officer or the police that any such event took place. All our ballot boxes were accounted for last night in the preliminary count. We are now in the process of doing the final count. So up to now, no such information has been presented to my office.
Glasspool Brown, Director of Elections. The official recount of ballots in central Kingston got underway at Alpha Academy at 10:30 this morning.
The country's weather-vane seats have again lived up to their reputation, correctly reflecting the national outcome of Wednesday's general election. The governing JLP retained all 3 seats, confirming its 3rd term in government and creating history. Shalois Michael has the story.
The traditional weather-vane seats are Southwest St. Elizabeth, Southeast St. Elizabeth, and West St. Mary. All 3 constituencies returned their incumbent after the dust settled on Wednesday. In Southwest St. Elizabeth, the JLP's Floyd Green rummed to victory, securing 53.42% of the vote. He got 9,705 votes to the PNP's Miranda Wellington's 8,462. A similar victory was secured in the neighboring Southeast St. Elizabeth. The JLP's Franklin Witter polled 1,749 more votes than the PNP's Norman Scott. A JPP representative, Raymond Dobbs, also had his hat in the ring. But once again, the minor party fell by the wayside. Dobbs polled a meager 47 votes. The writing on the wall became evident when the JLP secured West St. Mary. Polls had suggested the incumbent Robert Bobby Montague might have slacked off on his duties as MP during his 2020 term. Some Labourites in the constituency had also expressed disappointment at his work on the ground. But it appears Montague's last-minute push to retain the seat was not in vain. He polled 9,394 to Omar Woodbine's 8,451 of the PNP. UIC Representative Chase Neal secured 35 votes, where the national outcome in 5 of the last 6 general elections. Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
Political commentator Jermaine Barrett is calling for a re-verification of the country's voters list following the low turnout for Wednesday's general election. Mr. Barrett says for any assessment of voting trends to be undertaken, the nation must first have trust in its list of electors.
Many names are on the voters list of persons who are deceased, of persons who have migrated are no longer resident in Jamaica, as is required by law that you are resident in Jamaica for up to a year. And so until that list is cleaned up, tidied up, and we know concretely that we're working with a list that is appropriate, it is hard to say whether that result of 40% approximately is in fact a statistic that is concerned.
The EOJ has confirmed voter turnout for the election was 39.5%. That's a marginal improvement over the 37.85% recorded for the COVID-19 election of 2020. Mr. Barrett says continued low voter turnout could become a threat to the nation's democracy.
The Caribbean Community CARICOM Observation Mission has given high marks to Jamaica's electoral system following Wednesday's general election. The team says the election properly represented the will of the Jamaican people. Fern Narcisse is served as a chief of mission from CARICOM.
The mission's general assessment of the day's activities is that the voters were able to cast their ballots without intimidation or harassment, and that the results of the general elections of 3rd September 2025 reflected the will of the people of Jamaica and reinforced their commitment to the democratic process.
CARICOM was invited by the Electoral Commission of Jamaica to observe Wednesday's poll. The community deployed a 10-member election mission to observe the Jamaica's electoral process. Ms. Narcisse also praised the Electoral Office of Jamaica and the Electoral Commission of Jamaica for the conduct of the polls.
As Chief of Mission, I also had the opportunity to visit the Election Center of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica on polling day. The mission observed that the center functioned effectively as a central hub for monitoring electoral operations nationwide. The atmosphere reflected a high level of collaboration and cooperation between the Electoral Office of Jamaica and the wide range of stakeholders present, including representatives of the security forces, political parties, and civil society. Issues raised throughout the day were addressed in a timely and coordinated manner, demonstrating the ECJ's commitment to transparency, responsiveness, and the smooth conduct of the electoral process.
Fern Narcisse, Chief of CARICOM Election Observer Mission.
Meanwhile, Citizens Action for Free and Fair Election CAFE is reporting that in at least 21% of polling stations, persons in line at the close of poll at 5 p.m. were not allowed to vote. This is in contravention to the Electoral Office's advice. CAFE says it will investigate the incidents. It also expressed concern at the low voter turnout. CAFE says it will pursue establishing democracy clubs in schools in an effort to teach students about the importance of voting. You're listening to the news on Nationwide at 5. We'll have more after these.
It's IQ Optical's sizzling summer sale. For this month only, get 50% off lenses when you purchase a frame. Kids get free lenses with a purchase of a frame. Make the intelligent choice with IQ Optical. Conditions apply. The time by IQ Optical is...
It's 16 minutes after 5.
Rentokil Initial offers air purification solutions with triple filtration and unique auto-sensing capabilities that neutralizes malodor and replaces it with clean air. Call Rentokil Initial at 926-4236 for more details.
The temperature by Rentokil is
30 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 24 out west in Montego Bay.
Attention motorists, it's time to switch to the T-Tag on Trans-Jam highways. Our automated T-Tag lanes reduce the cost of managing cash at our toll plazas, and drivers of Class 1 and 2 vehicles who use the T-Tag pay a lower toll fare than those who use the manually operated toll booths. They also get their 10th trip through any toll plaza free. The T-Tag makes it quicker, more cost-efficient, and safer for our customers. So switch to the T-Tag today and experience the convenience. T-Tag packages are discounted by 50% down to $1,250, including a $500 toll credit from now on till September 5th.
Continuing the news, the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, says it welcomes the seat distribution expected in the next parliament. The preliminary results of the 2025 general election have the incumbent Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, ahead with 34 of the 63 parliamentary seats. The opposition People's National Party, PNP, secured 29. In a statement on Thursday, the PSOJ said the configuration is healthy for the country's democracy. It says it presents potential to encourage robust debate, constructive collaboration, and the pursuit of solutions in the best interest of all Jamaicans. The PSOJ says the closeness of the race reflects that the electorate is deeply engaged and thoughtfully weighs in on policies and political leadership. The private sector lobby group congratulated the JLP on its victory and hailed the PNP for what it described as a spirited campaign that reflected the strong democratic traditions of the nation. At the same time, the PSOJ says the low voter turnout of 39.5% betrays the need for all stakeholders, government, opposition, civil society, and the private sector to cooperate on rebuilding public trust, strengthening civic engagement, and ensuring more Jamaicans feel represented in the democratic process.
And the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, the JCTU, says it anticipates genuine collaboration between the government, workers, and employers. It's calling for an open and respectful partnership that places the welfare of Jamaican workers at the heart of national development. The call comes following the conclusion of Wednesday's general election. While congratulating Dr. Andrew Holness on being re-elected as Prime Minister, the union says it looks forward to continuing discussions on wage reform and other critical labor issues with him and his cabinet. The JCTU is affirming its commitment to working in partnership with all stakeholders to advance Jamaica's economic resilience.
And President of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, JHTA, Christopher Jarrett, says the association looks forward to working with the government.
Well, just to say the people have spoken. I mean, it's a democratic process, and the people have spoken and re-elected the governing party. So, we're looking forward to the fulfillment of the mandate that was already existing, some of which have been met, and some are still outstanding. So we look forward to the changes and continue working together with administration to improve the level of involvement in progressing the JHTA's mandate of improvement in the tourism sector.
Christopher Jarrett, President of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
The World in a Minute.
Congratulations are coming in from across the region for Jamaican Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness following his election victory on Wednesday. Holness led his governing Jamaica Labour Party to a third consecutive election victory, winning 34 seats to the PNP's 29. In congratulating Holness and the JLP, the Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, says she looks forward to strengthening the relationship between the two countries in an effort to build a more prosperous region. In the meantime, the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Terence Drew, has also congratulated Holness. He says the renewed mandate speaks to the confidence that's been placed in Holness's leadership. And the Bahamian Prime Minister, Philip Davis, has offered the new JLP government his very best wishes. He says he's looking forward to deeper partnerships with CARICOM to benefit the region. Dr. Andrew Holness is the current chair of CARICOM.
26 Western allies have formally committed to deploying troops by land, sea, or air to Ukraine the day after a ceasefire deal is agreed. This was disclosed by French President Emmanuel Macron. He says U.S. support for their reassurance force would be finalized in the coming days. President Donald Trump recently indicated that U.S. backing could come in the form of support. But hopes of a deal to end the fighting have dimmed since Russia's Vladimir Putin met Trump in Alaska last month.
World in a Minute was brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Wrapping the top stories. Our triumphant Jamaica Labour Party says positive election campaign was key to its historic win in yesterday's general election.
And the party's communication chair, Abka Fitz-Henley, says the lies told about Prime Minister Andrew Holness undermined the PNP's bid for Jamaica House.
Director of Elections denies reports that boxes were stolen in yesterday's election.
Weather vane seats solidify their status, again correctly reflecting the national outcome.
I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Robeanne Williams.
Listeners, you can find the news on our website at It's actually at www.revonews.ai. You can also find it on the Revo app, available on the Google Play and the App Store. News next, the headlines at 6.
News at 5 was brought to you by KFC's Big Deal. Order through carry-out, drive-through, delivery, WhatsApp, or the new KFC Jamaica mobile app. KFC Big Deal. Anything for the taste.
We a big deal when we touch
what you grow. Yeah, I can't see when we're pulling up. Anything for the taste, what we love. Barbecue, spicy and original, flavorful, crispy, irresistible. 3 piece with the fries and a Pepsi. Forget your one big deal, stop stress me. All when we dip on the toilet, no left foot. It's a big anything for the taste of a juicy, crunchy, irresistible KFC big deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries and Pepsi. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Sports at 5 is brought to you by Total Tools. Total Tools, every tool, every trade.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. Manager of Jamaica's team to the World Athletics Championships, Ian Forbes, had high praises for the facility housing the athletes at a 9-day training camp in Tottori Prefecture in Japan. Forbes told Nationwide Sports and has all the amenities to cater for elite world-class athletes and that the Jamaicans are making full use. This marks the 3rd time Jamaica's athletes are training at the camp, having done so ahead of the 2021 Tokyo Olympic Games and the World Championships in Beijing in 2015. Meanwhile, Forbes says the camp itself has been a success so far, with a large number of the athletes already checked in and most training twice per day. The camp is set to end on September 9, a day before the team embarks on an hour-long flight into Tokyo for the start of the World Championships on September 13.
All in all, it has been going well. Our coaches are here, our massage therapists, our doctor, all the support staff are in place. Things are going pretty well. In terms of persons here, I would say we should have close to 50 athletes in camp, and of course management team and the other support staff as well. So all in all, I think it has been going very well. The food is good, the wide variety, and the Tottori Prefecture in going all out to ensure that we're as comfortable.
That's Ian Forbes, manager of Jamaica's World Championship team, speaking to Nationwide Sports from Tottori Prefecture. On Thursday, Nationwide 90 FM will have live coverage of the championship starting Friday, September 12. And we'll take a quick break and get back to sports. Olympic 200 meters champion Letsile Tebogo of Botswana says Jamaican megastar Usain Bolt was a major influence in his career as a track athlete. Bogo, who famously told the media that if he was not an athlete, he'll probably be in crime, says Bolt's jaw-dropping performances persuaded him to choose athletics over other competing interests.
I sat down, family, asked them how did they feel me, football to athletics. No, let's give athletics 4 years. If it doesn't work out in 4 years, then we'll see where to go next. By the time when we did that transition, Usain Bolt, he was the hottest thing in the sport. Even though he retired 2017, but it went on up to 2019 when we came in. We still knew that nobody could beat him. So that's how I came up. I want to be like him.
Tebogo is heading into the World Championships in Tokyo, Japan, with the 5th fastest time in his pet event, the men's 200 meters, having clocked in 19.76 seconds back in July. For the 100 meters, Tebogo is yet to crack the 10 seconds mark this season. Steve McLaren, head coach of Jamaica's national senior men's football team, says he's prepared his players for a tough showdown against lowly ranked Bermuda when the two clash at the National Stadium in Hamilton in a CONCACAF Final Round World Cup qualifying encounter on Friday at 5 p.m. Jamaica time. The Gobe Warriors are currently ranked 162 in the world, 92 places below the Reggae Boys, who are ranked number 70 on the FIFA World Ranking. However, McLaren says he's taking nothing for granted because it has the potential to be a tricky tie.
And I've said to all our players, this is not going to be an easy game. And we need to fight. We need to be together. We need to match Bermuda's spirit. If we do that, then we have a good chance of winning the game. If we don't do that, Bermuda can be very dangerous.
Naki Wells, who plays for League One side Luton Town in England, is Bermuda's best-known player and had him at Queen's Park Rangers against the dangers the 35-year-old poses.
Naki's very dangerous. I signed him for QPR. I remember from London the train up to the northwest to convince him to come to QPR. We were struggling at the time. We needed a goal scorer. He came